So this one's called Knots, as in K-N-O-T-S. I was born into a broken home where the doors were all shut but you could still feel the wind blow, so I anchored myself to a port in a storm called literature and let words be my sails, sentences my fuel and ideas my safety rails. Our roof was held up by newspapers and beer bottles because my father bottled it when building something solid and secure, like a relationship with his kid or a relationship with his wife. I learnt from my grandfather that the quickest way to a warm heart was an early start on whiskey and cigarettes, stubbing ashen veins to calm the urges to abstain from an emotional relationship. And it took me 20 years to realise when my granddad shuddered when my dad entered the room. But it was far too soon before I learnt that what was burnt could never be remade, and I guess that's why they call exes old flames. Because the spark that caused the heart to pump blood, like water rising beneath Noah's Ark, once doused no longer creates art and instead inspires agony. I was only little, but I tried to rub my limbs together to create fire and bring some warmth to the house. It never worked. And looking back now, I can see that all my limbs were skyscrapers, and the burdens I carried on my sky view balcony shoulders had the weight of Godzilla bearing down on them, stampeding on my shoelaces and causing tremors from my kneecaps, causing me to collapse and leaving even more on books for support, like suspension bridges I had yet to burn. I had left cities of child relationships behind me in the night and begged for something better, something bright, to tear me away from the dull halogen cubicle my bedroom had become, the corners bitten by the cigarette-stained hue of the late, late sun. I watched my family evolve into revolving doors of uncles and aunties who came once but never more, relatives like ravens entering the periphery before feeling the need to soar. I grabbed every dream I created and crammed them into a Trojan horse before slipping them past the soldiers at the gate looking for little mistakes like a revelation that I wanted to be an astronaut. So instead of being let down by my father, I could be burnt by my son. I wanted to be a writer so I could write a way out of my youth up a staircase of history laced with happy sepia-toned memories. I wanted to be Superman. I wanted to be all anybody could rely on, but I knew I built that dream too strong, so I decided to be a poet. Because even if I never came to know it, changing just one life would be enough for me to live for. My mother was a single mother, married to my father, and rather than standing up and speaking out, she sat down and heard him out. When I was old enough to realise that I would never have a father figure, I didn't know whether to tear my lungs out and show off my last breaths to prove that I'd given everything until I had nothing left, or to tie knots in all of my arteries, so I could feel the pressure bearing down on me, like I always believed a loving father should leave a dream to be something better than he could ever be. Just like those stories I was told, my childhood lacked emotional relevance. So I prayed for a loaded gun to shoot at my feet, just something to make me dance. I didn't want to grow up. My only examples built from anger left spare. I had all the tricks and no treats. I had all the truths but no dares. I had all the tricks but no treats. I had all the truths but no dares. I had all the tricks but no treats. All the truths but no reason to dare to do anything but escape that situation. I was not an earthquake, but I am the aftermath, and I will grow and craft and build and stack great memories on top of lesser ones, and I will tie knots into my arteries so I can feel the pressure bearing down on me to create something great. And if somebody takes words I put to paper and lives by them, then I can untie my veins and bleed again. Thank you.